Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Childcare Directors Chair podcast. Before we hop off today, I'd like to say welcome back to Texas, Rhode Island, Illinois, Queens Island, Georgia, Maine, Minnesota, Michigan, New South Wales, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. And of course, no matter what city you're tuning in from today, we love you. I'm your host, Erica Saccoccio, and today we're going to talk about something that every childcare director can benefit from, and that is upgrading your daily routine. Now, as a childcare director, you already have a lot of juggling going on between managing staff, meeting with parents, and overseeing daily operations of your center, and consistently striving to create the best possible environment for your children. But here's the thing. Leadership's not just about what you do in the big moments. It's about how you show up every day. It's about the small but seemingly insignificant choices that make your day and the habits that you adapt. Over time, those small choices can either fuel your growth or create a cycle of stagnation. So in today's episode, we're challenging you to identify and upgrade just one small habit that may not be serving you and replace it with something that will move you closer to the leader you want to be. We'll discuss how small intentional changes compound over time and ultimately transform your leadership effectiveness and, by extension, your child care center. I'd love to kick off today's episode with a powerful quote by John Maxwell. And he says, "Change is inevitable, but growth is optional." And this quote really encapsulates the essence of leadership. Growth doesn't just happen by accident. It happens when we make intentional, strategic changes to the way that we approach our work and our leadership. As leaders, we're creatures of habit, and our daily routines form the foundation of how we lead. But sometimes those habits are not as productive or growth-oriented as we'd like. So let's start by asking, what's one habit in your current routine that's not serving you? Maybe it's checking your phone first thing in the morning, or diving straight into emails before you've even had time to mentally prepare for the day. Or perhaps it's skipping that much needed reflective time after a challenging meeting or week. Or maybe that procrastination is creeping in when it comes to important tasks like developing your staff or planning long-term initiatives or staying current on educational trends. We all have those habits that hold us back. But here's the powerful part. Identifying them is the first step to change. Now let's talk about how transforming that habit into that one that will fuel your growth and leadership. It doesn't have to be an overnight overhaul for your entire routine. What matters the most is making small intentional changes. For example, if checking your phone first thing in the morning is a habit that's taking away from your focus, replace it with the more purposeful morning routine. I have to tell you, I talk about when I went to Arizona, and that was just about a year ago. It literally changed my life. In 1 week, I totally thought about how I was living my life, wasn't intentional, and what the small habits were that I was going to change to go back and make my life more meaningful and more purposeful. And that's what I want for you today. So, like I said, if you're checking your phone first thing in the morning, that's a habit that's taking away your focus. Replace it with one that's going to help you thrive. How about starting your day with a few minutes of reflection and gratitude instead of immediately diving into distractions? I have to tell you, 10 minutes of gratitude in the morning is fantastic. There are so many channels on YouTube. There's also there's the Calm channel. There's so many channels that offer a guided meditation. So perhaps you could spend the first 10 minutes of your day reading an article, listening to a podcast that challenges your leadership thinking. Here's an idea. The small habits that compound, they're just like investing a small amount of money regularly over time. Small, consistent action. actions will yield you big results. So now that you're thinking you've identified a habit, how do you actually replace it? So here's a few simple steps you can follow. Be intentional about the habit you want to replace. Make sure that the habit you choose to adapt aligns with your growth goals. And if you don't have growth goals, start there. For example, if procrastination is slowing down your leadership growth, replace it with the habit of breaking large tasks into smaller ones, actionable steps that you can take each day. Make the new habit easy to implement. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with unrealistic expectations. Just start small. For instance, if you're replacing phone checking with morning reflection, start with just 5 minutes each day and gradually increase the time as you start to see benefits. And track your progress. This is the key for long-term success. Track your new habit daily and make a note of how it makes you feel. Remember feeling? Is it increasing your focus? Do you feel more in control? Maybe keeping a journal or setting up a reminder system can be a helpful way to keep you on track. And don't forget to create an accountability system, whether it's a colleague, a mentor, or the journal. Just having someone or something to keep you accountable will make it more likely that you're going to stick to that new habit. That's why going to the gym with a buddy works, because the days you feel like blowing it off, you can't, because you know they're waiting for you. Don't wait for a big transformation to celebrate. Every time you stick to a new habit, acknowledge that you're building momentum towards leadership excellence. You might be thinking, how does one small change in my routine really make a difference, Erica, in the grand scheme of running a childcare center? Here's the thing. Leadership is a journey, and your habits set the tone for that journey. When you make a small strategic upgrade to your daily routine, you're not just improving your personal productivity, you're also fostering the kind of leadership energy and presence that your team will notice and benefit from you. Your mindset, your focus, and your clarity will directly influence the culture of your center. And if you can consistently show up as a leader who is intentional, reflective, and focused, your team will begin to mirror those behaviors. And over time, it will continue to trickle. Sometimes even your parents notice. So remember, leadership is not just about managing people. It's about setting that tone and creating an environment where growth is nurtured. Now, here's your challenge for the week. Identify that one small habit in your routine that is not serving your leadership. Again, things that are unnecessary distractions or a lack of reflection time, and replace it with a habit that fosters intentional growth. Here are some examples of small shifts that you can make. Replace the phone checking in the morning with a quick reflection or journaling session. Replace procrastination on important tasks with 10-minute focus work blocks. And if you're not sure what a work block is, we have a whole episode on time chunking. Check it out. It's about 100 episodes back. Replace skipping reflection time with a brief end-of-the-day review that went well and what you can improve. And also small changes, when done consistently, will continue to compound over time. And that will create a long-lasting leadership transformation. Here's a question I want you to ask yourself. What is that one habit in your daily routine that you're going to replace this week? I want you to foster your growth and yourself as a leader. Think about how you can track your progress and stay accountable for this change. I would love to hear from you in either our Facebook leadership group, or you can write to me on our community YouTube page. But I really want you to make that change. The choice to grow and improve as leaders is always in your hands. It starts with that small, intentional change that you make each day. Thank you for tuning into my podcast as part of your learning journey. As always, I hope that this episode inspired you to reflect on your routine and to make that one intentional shift towards growth. Because at the end of the day, it's those small shifts that create the momentum that you need for that larger success. For you, for your team, and the children you serve. So until next time, keep leading with purpose and stay intentional about your growth. Have a great day.